like to just see some nice, normal openings out of both of these guys.
Yeah, we're going to see how that goes. As for now, let's jump on into our game here. As spawning over to our right-hand side as our blue Protoss. You know him, I know him, everyone knows him. He goes by the name of SKMC.
And down in the bottom left-hand corner, sporting the wonderful ID Fat and Lazy, when in reality he is anything but. His name is Azubu Violet.
He's lean and mean, and he's here to break MC's spleen? No, we'll stick away from that. You're the one with the rhymes. Although, do you have any rhymes?
Oh, yes.
I'm not so sure.
Do I have any rhymes? I mean, if he loses and he's upset, then maybe you could call him Azubu's Cry a Lot.
Oh, I guess you could. I guess you could.
That is something that you could do. In the meantime, MC has thrown down his pylon at the front of his base.
Yeah. And I actually, I don't mind this wall off anymore. There was a point where I actually really minded walling off this relatively large choke, and I was a big fan of walling off between your main ramp and the Nexus. But for the most part now, most people on this map have gone back to the old standard, tried and tested, walling off at the natural ramp. And, Zergs aren't really going for too many early lings anymore. It's not that big a deal. And even if it is, Protoss are very, very handy and capable of dealing with that kind of little pressure.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's one of those standard trademark things that you kind of have to learn how to do early on, is deal with that sort of ling pressure. There's this seemingly odd timing where MC is actually going for Nexus first without scouting. But the big tool that you can use as a Protoss is actually to just march out to this Xel'Naga watchtower and see if there's any Zerglings coming quickly. However, it looks like MC is actually just doing no scouting. None whatsoever. So ignore everything I say, Kalaris.
Oh, wait, oh.
Yes, oh, there he goes. Oh, nailed it.
Perfecto. Well, this is going to help him. It's going to help him quite a bit. There's 2 Zerglings in production, but not much else for Violet right now, other than the 1 Queen, as long with a few drones on the way. So he's just powering up a little bit in terms of that drone count, and for now, just positioning his overlords in the correct positions, and spots the Nexus. So he knows exactly what his opponent is up to right now, other than the fact that he doesn't know the gas timings in his opponent's main, which he might try and take heed of and notice of in just a little bit.
This is continuing to look like what you and I have joked about many times, which is that you can cast PvZ blindfolded to the 15-minute mark. It's a little bit less true in the last 2-3 months, but before that, I was true because everyone did the same thing. And in fact, would you be willing to bet me $1,000? Okay, no, seriously, I'll bet you $1 American dollar, which is like 0.3 euros or something terrible.
Yeah.
You see 2 geysers for Zerg at 6 minutes.
Oh god, no, I can't take that bet. It's not worth it. Even just for $1. Okay, I'll take the bet. It's $1, it's fine. It's gone. Right.
Okay. Alright, let's see how this pans out for me. Double gas for MC. MC known for really loving air plays, all-ins, standard, pretty much any build in the book. MC has used it. He's one of the most unpredictable players. It's not that he does anything unusual from just a one-game perspective. Every time he does an all-in, it's the standard best version of that all-in. Or every time he plays normal, it's a standard straight-up thing. But he just does so much different stuff.
Yeah, and I love what you can do as Protoss on the 3 base timings. It was all about the 2 base timings for a long time, but there are some great 3 base timings, incorporating like double robo production into 4 Colossus very quickly, just before the hives morphed in, etc. Scary, scary stuff. And the 2 gas geysers.
Give me all the euros, baby.
All 0 point.
Oh god, I love winning partial euros. It feels so good. 6-minute double gas. I suppose that it is important to note that the reason that a lot of these timings exist is that it's a good balance of starting the gas production, and then when you can get a read on your opponent, you can either elect to build a roach warren and make roaches with the gas, or go straight for the lair.
Ooh, the Stalker actually got an Overlord there as well, actually. So a little bit of an uncommon misstep that we see from Violet, as the Stalker was able to pick up a kill. Oh, that being said, though, of course, viOlet did want to try and reach his opponent's base to see what was going on, and we already have the first Immortal being chrono boosted out here for MC, so he's going to be going for something like, you know, the Immortal push potentially, as you would normally see an Observer out first if he was going to go for a third base.
If he goes for an Immortal push, that'll be a sad day for Protosses around the world. SKMC, one of the heroes of Protoss, known for his varied builds, doing the build that everyone does. And here's the very early Evolution Chamber from viOlet. Will he be getting the +1 attack upgrade? Yes, he will. Totally scripted game up to this point. 2 more gas geysers. The only thing I think to note that's really cool that viOlet's doing is he's building his geysers at the 2 scoutable locations. Because it's hard to be able to get into the main to know, is my opponent teching or is he going gasless and building a lot of units? What do you know? It's an Immortal Sentry all in. What do you know, man?
Yeah, it is. But interestingly enough, he's never took the 4th gas geyser, so isn't he going to be a little bit low on sentries as he moves down? And normally you see like, I don't know, like 10 to 12 or something like that, but I don't know if he's going to have enough gas for that kind of play, so it's going to be more of a heavy Stalker.
With the new parting style, the goal is to get the Immortals and the push started as early as possible, and then you sort of warp in sentries as the push is moving out, but it's like MC's doing a wee bit of chilling, and what do you know ×2? The Overseer stepped in, saw the Immortal Sentry all in en route, and now it's all up to the control of viOlet.
Yeah, he's doing a good job in terms of getting his creep spread going, that's for sure. That's one of the useful aspects to this, as long as you can deny the Observer from, picking off a few of them along with those units at the front, then you've got good mobility there, and you will do even if your creep tumors die for just a little bit longer. But still, SKMC here, powering down with 4 pylons. He wants to warp in a lot very, very quickly here.
Oh, wow. Now, viOlet is known for being an expert at dealing with this sort of thing. There is the potentially unusual option of just chilling in MC's shoes and just building up more and more and more stuff. We saw Hero utilize that technique to defeat viOlet at the NASL Grand Finals. There's your 13 sentry count, plopping down onto the field now.
Not too bad.
So many. And there's the engagement from viOlet coming in from all sides, trying to surround as best he can. Continued excellent micro, but ooh, that is a lot of roaches that are on the inside lip of those force fields.
It really is, and trapping all of those roaches allows those zealots to close the gap, and that's one of the things with only 3 gas guys, is you don't have that many stalkers, but if you can trap units against those zealots, it's a sad day for those Zerg units. And, I mean, right now, MC still has a lot of sentries. viOlet's trying to bounce back, dance around, trying to find a location to put some pressure on, but still more force fields go down, catching more of those units, as KMC is closing that supply gap quickly.
And there's the huge flood of spine crawlers as viOlet, like many Zergs, still unable to hold off this Immortal Sentry all-in. I mean, the number of Zealots is the big key that's allowing MC to just do so much damage here.
And there was a cute move MC did as well whilst actually going for this. He brought the probe along in the Warp Prism. It was a sweet little defense of that poor probe, as he needs it over there, for pylons and stuff, especially if the Warp Prism ends up dying off. And, look at that still. He's so close now to even up that gap of supply. It was like, 1 supply in it for a moment there. And he's just throwing down pylons so close to this position to actually start warping in.
Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty tough defense for viOlet, especially given the fact that in MC's shoes you can just pull back.
Ooh. Is viOlet going to go for the counter? Just put pressure on at his front and draw this entire force back? Or is he... Oh no, okay, he's turning around for a second. I would still like a counter, personally.
Huh. Now we see the Colossus coming up for MC. Really smart play. He's going to just add on a couple probes and then expand soon enough. Everything's looking pretty reasonable from MC as a follow-up, but the real question is, how do you recover from this situation as the Zerg player?
Yeah, it's tough. You need to re-expand. I guess if you keep dancing around in the middle of the map trying to, deter your opponent from attacking, and he's doing so by well-positioned spine crawlers as well as his army, but also I don't know, maybe even going for a fourth somewhere. Maybe not exactly in the middle of the map because of how present your opponent is there, but one of the things that's happened here is something that we spoke about previously, which was, you know, it's hard to know when to pull back when you're in a position where you're being aggressive. And MC's done that beautifully. He knows it takes great discipline to do this kind of thing from MC, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, most importantly though, MC's still a little bit slow on the expansion. I mean, taking that third base is pivotal. We see this giant flood of roaches that is just getting completely pooped on by all these immortals and sentries. I mean, the zealots, in a sense, are just mobile force fields when you have enough of them.
Yep. More force fields going down, trying to trap some of these roaches, but a lot of them actually breach the position, getting a lot of good surface area on these sentries.
Wow! Oh my god, is viOlet going to pull this off with this attack? I mean, he sacked his third base, lost so many workers. Those two immortals are still going to town, but the sentry count has greatly diminished.
While during all of this, a War Prism ended up sacrificing itself over a few queens, dropped a few of the zealots, but didn't really get much done in the main of viOlet. And, you know, viOlet, he's trying to rally his forces forward still, but unless he can somehow kill off a good chunk of this army and, you know, deny the third, he's still in Frowntown. This is hard for him.
Yeah. Sir viOlet trying to do something with this small, meager collection of units. Force fields plop down. There's still some sentry energy left, but the real big problem is those two colossi just raining down havoc from above. In the main base, there's not even really that many drones for viOlet. His third is completely unpopulated, and with failure of that attack, good game, MC takes game number 1.
Really, really well played by MC. It's nice to actually see. It's a